Welcome, suckers! Welcome back, everybody, to another video. As you can tell from the weird little intro, we're doing Mortal Kombat today. Now, the mask I was wearing, I printed, and I think it came out pretty cool. I also have a balaclava from a bunch of cosplay stuff. But anyways, I basically wanted to shoot this video sooner rather than later, but because of scheduling and stuff, you guys are getting it now. Hopefully that's okay. You guys should have already seen the original Mortal Kombat from 1995 and also Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'll put links in the description of this video if you haven't seen those. You don't have to watch them in order to enjoy this movie, but I was showing them to CJ because he didn't really know about Mortal Kombat, and I wanted him to get the original taste of the original campy, cheesy 90s movies and then go into this one that's supposed to be incredible. I haven't seen it yet, so Ashley, CJ, and I are going to watch it momentarily. I'm excited. I know CJ's excited. We were talking on the phone the last week or two in anticipation for the shoot. I have pretty high expectations because A, it came out in 2021. It's been a long time since we've gotten an original Mortal Kombat. CGI and everything has gotten so much better over the years. I expect it to be a lot better, a lot more serious, but maybe not too serious because it's Mortal Kombat. I really want to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Kano is a good guy now, which is pretty cool because that's a little bit of a change. I'm not sure if the movie's going to have like Katana, or I know that Facebook and TikTok and Instagram fans have been talking about who they want to cast to play certain iconic characters that may or may not have been in this movie. Obviously, they're not in the movie, what I would think, because they're trying to, you know, petition for people to play the characters. But anyway, I want to know what CJ thinks going into it, having seen the first two movies. So CJ, let's start with you. What do you expect to see in this one? Do you have any kind of expectations, or are you just going to go into it with a clean slate?
So I'm super excited to watch this movie. You know, I've seen the trailer 4 or 5 times, probably the most times I've rewatched a trailer. I'm just extremely hyped about it. Now, I was reminded over the past week or two, since we did the last video, of why I never got super into Mortal Kombat. And it's because I'm terrible at fighting games. I've been playing them a little bit, trying to reintroduce myself, getting more familiar, but even just based off the trailer, and I did watch the YouTube video of the opening scene, so that's gonna be, you know, a rewatch for me, that's fine. Cinematography, I'm expecting to be pretty dang good, great effects. I've heard relatively moderate to negative things about the story, so my hopes aren't too high, but I'm still expecting to see, you know, a decent movie.
See, I haven't heard anything, so I'm not sure. I'm going to try in my own mind to go into it expecting it to be cool. I'm probably going to keep my expectations a little low going into it now because, CJ, you have heard negative reviews. We'll see. I haven't talked to Jeremy, who is a huge Mortal Kombat fan like myself. He's seen it already, I know that, so eventually I will talk to him. Maybe do some sort of cross promotion, maybe. I don't know, who knows, because I know he's a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I like to pick his brain on it and hear what he thinks. Going into it, we'll see. Ashley, what about you? What are you looking for? I don't know if you're a big Mortal Kombat fan or not, come to think of it. I know I introduced it to you. I played a lot of the fighting games with your brother. I remember Mortal Kombat 9 having Friday nights where we just played Mortal Kombat 9 forever. When it came out for like the Xbox 360 or whatever, I thought it was awesome that they were reinventing the video game franchise. Of course, 10 and 11 and all that, so it's all amazing. But as far as this movie goes, what are you thinking?
I have heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say, especially diehard fans, still love it. They think it's great. I think if you like the first movie, the one from 1995, right?
Yes.
95. From 1995, then I'll most likely like this one. I remember Annihilation just a little bit, but I know it was absolutely god-awful, so I know that one was pretty terrible. So at that point, I don't think anything could be worse than that one. So especially with today's graphics and everything, I'm pretty excited about it. So I can't wait. I hope to see a few of my favorites. As far as the franchise itself, I was more of a Tekken person. That's mainly what my brother and I played when we were kids. We weren't really introduced to Mortal Kombat because it was a little violent for kids. Since being married to you, Pastor, I know that the game has really significantly, you know, grown in my favor, just because I remember a lot of the different cutscenes, and I used to watch you play all the time, and it just was so intense, and it was just a cool game. All the effects and everything were just really neat. So I'm really excited for the movie, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, my mom, she didn't like the fact that it had a lot of blood. I was all about it. Blood, gore, violence, I was all about it.
First of all, how dare you, Ashley? Mortal Kombat Annihilation was a masterpiece. Comedy gold. All right, go back to your thing.
Okay, you guys heard it here. Apparently, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, we've all been wrong. You're wrong, I'm wrong, Ashley's wrong. Movie's amazing. So you guys know what we expect. Some of us have different expectations. I think we're all just excited to see it. Let's get into it. Mortal Kombat from 2021, right? Not 2020, 2021.
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
How are you not opening with the Mortal Kombat song? Y'all are missing out.
Hanzo Hasashi Compound. What? 16, 17?
I really loved him as a Kenji in Rush Hour.
Jesus.
Because I want to say Smoke was Lin Kuei.
Probably, sounds right.
Oh.
I was just about to ask about the baby. What about the baby? The baby's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
He never got the baby. Oh, wow.
Okay. Raiden. I know who he is this time. He's
His
not homeless
design is
anymore.
pretty cool.
The yellow and black giveaway Scorpion.
Oh, he's done. Oh, yeah, he's done.
The man that took the belt from Eddie Tobias. Could have won
Ed
today.
Boon and John Tobias,
The
creators of Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
He's smart.
Wonder who it is. Is it Smoke? That might be Smoke, actually. Missed another opportunity to get Hannibal Buress to play him.
Dope. Oh, look at the bone, dude.
Ooh.
I'm thinking they shot this in like the desert somewhere and they just added a filter to make it look blue.
Cultures all over
Night
the
Wolf.
world they reference even know existed.
Cortal Khan.
Dragon marking.
Holy crap.
It's
Until next time, be more punctual.
Oh.
I was about to go for a stroll, but maybe I'll stick around, you fucking idiot.
Oh, I love him already.
Oh, that's a. Oh.
Oh.
That was Kano's blade.
Oh.
Oh, that was dope.
Now take a bite.
Oh, by the way, your beer's shit, and you're almost out of it. God knows. They give me the creep.
Ew.
That's far enough, and
He filmed Annihilation the same year.
Oh!
there's much to learn. The fuck?
Favorite character, dude.
Yeah, I love him.
Oh, crap.
Jax.
Yeah.
Hey, Gandalf, what does my fortune cookie say?
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Okay. He also looks familiar.
Dude, that was amazing.
Oh, cousin.
Could be shit. Could be frisbee hat. You know, no offense, whoever you are.
All you can do now is test your might. We have
Test
no time to
your
lose.
might.
You must unlock your...
That man is ripped.
Yeah, he is.
That's the body I'm trying to get.
The only move you know, mate. Ah, no.
That's a... I thought it was like a modification.
Better than fireballs, you pussy!
Oh, is he like one of the ninjas that got turned into a robot?
No, that's Cabal. He's different. Oh, dude.
Prince, go!
So he is back.
Jesus.
Oh! That man is playing no games.
Flawless victory.
Woo! My God.
Man. Oh.
Yes.
That's amazing. Monta?
Jesus.
Well, he did not last long in this movie.
Oh! Oh. Go, bro.
It's okay.
Oh no. I liked him too.
Wow.
Oh, did you see the hat came out at the end?
Yeah.
Kung Lao's hat? I kind of like the spin on it though, where they all have a power. Kind of.
I do like that a lot.
Cool.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, big boy!
Now this is personal for you. Are you ready?
Headband, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, these motherfuckers work.
How does that feel?
Oh, the fucking gnome. Alrighty then.
Nice.
There you go. She's got it now.
I knew she was gonna get it from Kano.
Yes!
It's so goofy.
Yo, it's time! Yes!
Is that from one of the games?
Yeah. Yes. That's from the first game. Dope. It's like a horror movie.
Oh! I have a feeling the other squad's about to show up with the whole kid over here.
Now you will die. The blade of Hanzo.
Yep, there he is. Oh,
Yes, dude! Oh my god!
Get over here.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
ooh, there you go.
Woo!
That was dope.
Dude, I love it. Oh,
Oh, that was from the
it was from the trailer. I'm digging these weapons.
大竜のために
Shit, alright, you baby.
奴は俺に任せろ
There you go.
Oh, I don't speak Japanese.
Hollywood. Hollywood. What the
Johnny Cage.
Sitting in the cage. We could have shot Mortal Kombat in a second.
Guys, oh my god. I am so happy that I did not look up any kind of reactions or people giving their opinions on the movie because I was afraid that it would sway my decision. I loved this freaking movie. I loved everything about this movie. Granted, I've only seen it the one time, but thinking about it as I talk about this review to you guys, I don't see something making the movie bad. I knew that the scenes from the trailer, which was a very lengthy trailer, I think I discussed that. You can watch my trailer reaction. I'm going to put a plug up here somewhere. We were like, oh my god, this trailer was amazing, and I didn't realize it was almost 4 minutes long. So I was like, that's a big trailer. A lot of that stuff can be taken out in post or just not utilized to just get us excited for it, but most, if not the entire trailer, was used in this movie. The effects, the blood looked the best I've seen in any movie of all time that was gratuitous violence like this, obviously. I like the fact that Kano started off as like this neutral character and then he found his footing as a bad guy, and he was hilarious. The man said the F word like every other sentence, and I'm gonna have a field day editing that for you guys, but that was, or I should say I had a field day because you're gonna be watching this after you watch the final cut. But going into it, I didn't know what to think. I loved it. I thought Liu Kang was amazing. I thought Raiden was top tier. He had the majesty. It felt like someone who, if he got involved, the tournament would have ended. But I can talk a lot about this movie. I want to hear what these guys think. I'm going to start with Ashley. Babe, what did you think of Mortal Kombat? And be honest, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
So during the film, I knew there'd be a lot of stuff that I wanted to take notes for, which is what I did. So I'm gonna follow some of my notes because there was so much stuff that I wanted to talk about, and there were so many things that were just spot on, you know, in every aspect. So a few things. I know in the beginning, I love the opening scenery. There was a slow motion shot of the water in a bucket that was coming down the steps as Hanzo was, you know, realized all this crazy stuff was happening and like was running back to his family. And you know, the screen or the cameraman like panned out, so you saw him running up the field, and then you saw the water and stuff coming down, and it just the way that they shot that was just so cool and so neat. In that entire moment, you saw his, you know, hesitation and his like absolute like, oh my gosh, my world's ending, you know, as he's running up the steps to go see his family. The part with the family was just terrible. I mean, that was, oh my gosh, I was fighting back tears during that part because I didn't want you guys to see me start crying, because I definitely, had there not been a camera in front of us, I would have been.
There's nothing wrong with tears, babe. You're good.
No, there's not, but it was one of those things that I have to remind myself sometimes that it's just a movie and it's not real. These people are still alive. It's okay. The choreography of the fights I thought was phenomenal. It was like the way that they shot them, it was smooth and it was very fast. Like, you know, the shots where they were like punching and stuff like that, they didn't focus a lot on slow motion, which I hate when movies do that. Whenever they focus way too much on the slow motion of the, oh, look at this fight, and, you know, like it, who cares about that, you know? I mean, not saying that it's a bad style, but when you're shooting fighting styles like this, it's so much better to me whenever you show the flow of the person getting punched and then they're going back and forth. It was super quick, and it was great. I love that part. Probably my favorite scene of the entire movie was the scene with Jax and Sub-Zero, when Jax fires the gun and Sub-Zero comes in and he he freezes it to where the little pellets and stuff are coming out and coming at him. Like, that was just so freaking cool. Pretty much all the scenes with Sub-Zero were pretty dope, honestly. Whatever person that they got to film they did all the icicles and stuff like that for his character, I mean, I feel like he probably had his one dude or whole team of people that did all the ice stuff. Like, okay, those are the ice guys. Okay, come on guys, come here. Melina's character was on fire. I love the way that they did her. She looks super cool, and I love the fact that in the end they did show like her mouth and stuff coming apart right here, and you saw like the actual character from the game, you know, come to life. And she as she stabbed Sonya, she was licking the blade. Oh, so gross, but so awesome, because that's basically her character. So I thought that was cool. So I love the little nods to different people throughout it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but we actually saw Katana's fan in the background at one point. You saw Katana's fan in the background. It was in the whatever that training place. Temple. Yeah, the temple. It was at the temple. It was one of the stuff that he had on display was her fan in the background. I don't know why people thought that it was bad as far as the tone, or you know, I thought everything was great. So I'm not sure what people were complaining about, but I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
One thing I did notice that I had to kind of think about why it was happening, which most people would imagine felt that way, is how they were going to tie the whole thing with their powers and everything else and all that. I enjoyed the new way of doing it because we didn't know who Cole was. We still kind of don't know, even though we know why, the point of him being in it. Like, you know, we don't know where they came up with Cole. We don't know, you know, the inspiration, at least I don't, the inspiration currently as I'm filming this, why he was who he was, why they went with Scorpion, why they did that whole thing, which I like that originality. I was telling CJ at one point when we realized that they were all going to get powers and stuff, that each of them pretty much came into this like power that I think it's what they tried to do in the second one with the animality kind of thing. I think it was a little too on the nose, and it was a little too, the suspense of disbelief was a little too hard to achieve, especially since in one of the games, Scorpion turns into a penguin, which doesn't make sense. So I'm glad they didn't do animality. I'm glad that they were able to figure out a way to have Liu Kang's iconic dragon show up without it being an animality. And I do love that they kind of went the Power Ranger route, which is what I was getting at. In the Power Rangers movie that came out with, you know, the live action one, I loved that they had super strength and stuff like that without the suits, because it kind of added to them being not just normal kids anymore. And that's the thing with Mortal Kombat. It's like, CJ made a really good point. He was like, how is Scorpion gonna fight Sonya? Like, that doesn't make sense. She would get murdered if she goes against a Spectre, because she's just a Joe Schmo human, you know? Now she has those, which I still think they're towels. I used to call them towels as a kid, the purple little things that she throws, because I'm like, oh, she's going to the gym, she's throwing towels at you. And I said that, and CJ was like, what are you talking about? But anyway, I loved how they did the effects. I love how they tied everything together. I really cannot wait to look online all the problems. I know one of my really close friends, fellow brothers in the 501st, said that the one from 1995 was better. I read that in one of his Facebook posts, and I was like, I can't wait to watch this movie for many reasons, but this is a really big one now, because I love the first one for nostalgia, but I can't imagine it being like that. This one took itself a little bit more, not too, but a little bit more seriously, and still was self-aware at the same time. Kano's comedic relief, I could talk about him for the entire reaction, but I do definitely agree with a lot of what you said, babe. I want to know what CJ thinks, because he is the newest Mortal Kombat fan between the three of us.
So without a doubt, Mortal Kombat has gained a new lifelong fan. I am all about it. Now, I loved the 95 movie. I loved Annihilation, but not for the proper reasons, I guess. And I love this movie, just everything about it. I don't think the movie could have stood as well as it did without Kano. I wouldn't say he's my favorite character in the movie, but without that level of comedic relief, I felt like it would have been kind of taking itself a little too seriously. So I think he was just the perfect amount and kept it going for the whole movie. That was awesome, especially without a character like Johnny Cage that would usually, I think, fill that kind of role. And it was cool because you got more of a middle ground to antagonist role as opposed to a protagonist as that comedic relief. The new guy, Cole, I like him, but you know, he wasn't my favorite by any means. I think my favorite character was actually probably Jax. I really like that cool redemption arc, how everybody got their powers and they all got it by different like means. You know, Kano got it by pulling on anger, whereas Jax said, I need to save my friend, let's pull it out here. So I thought that was really cool. As they mentioned before, I really liked how they implemented the powers. I felt like it brought some level of balance to make it more realistic to have characters like, again, Sonya fighting Scorpion or Sub-Zero. I liked Sub-Zero as a villain, but I really liked Scorpion as a protagonist. He's probably my second favorite in the movie. There's a few characters I can kind of take or leave. Like, personally, I'm not a huge fan of Liu Kang. Reptile, I didn't like too much. I really like the Mortal Kombat 9 design of it, where it's kind of a humanoid monster type thing, somewhere in between. But my favorite scene in the movie was, without a doubt, when Kung Lao took old Batwing and sliced her in half, and he turned around and said, flawless victory. That was perfect to me. That almost alone sold it for me. That, and especially the scene mentioned before with Sub-Zero freezing off Jack's arms. I thought that was really cool. I'm sold for life.
That is definitely not the end of me talking about Mortal Kombat 2021, but it is unfortunately the end of us talking about it in this video. The ratings for this movie are probably going to be really high, but we're still going to do them anyway. Because I'm still on the high of watching it the first time, it's going to be a really high rating. It might come down maybe a half a point or two, but I have to give this movie a 7.5 to an 8. It wasn't perfect. There were still things that were left untouched, but they weren't done in a like afterthoughty or forgotten kind of way. I think that they're setting it up for a bunch of movies. At least I was thinking about going into it with at least one more, because I knew that Bi-Han eventually becomes Noob Saibot, and they have to touch on it, and we have to get a good Sub-Zero, because the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight was not very long. I knew that they had to do another one, whether the movie flopped or not. Maybe not if it flopped completely, but I had faith in a second one. And CJ just confirmed that we're getting like 4 more with Bi-Han. So anyway.
I would have to give this movie an 8. I really loved it. There wasn't anything about it that I thought was terrible or anything like that. I mean, the storyline, it's Mortal Kombat, so I don't know if you can really comment on the storyline, because it never really was meant to have a storyline, because it's based off of a video game that people like come together and they fight. I think they tried to do a story as best as they could with the material that was given. If they really wanted to actually do a storyline, they would have had to do a story based off of one particular character and do that character's story. And I think they did that really well with Scorpion from the very beginning. His story pretty much illustrated everything from the beginning, the middle, and the end. This movie definitely was a very high 8. A very high 8 for me. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I am okay with you getting it a higher score because I liked it. I'm struggling to find negatives with it. Definitely am not going to give it a 10 like you said, because 10s are rare. And what's the point of doing a scale if everything's going to be a 10? CJ, what did you think, bro? I can only imagine it's going to be high based on what you said in your review, but I'm curious to see where it falls in our reviews. What'd you give it?
Oh, I certainly want to give it a 10. I can't put it up there with Endgame. Endgame is almost a perfect movie. I think it's an easy 8. I'd say 8.5 even. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait for more.
Well, there you have it, guys. We watched Mortal Kombat 2021 finally, and you guys get to see it as well. As I said, we went into it expecting it to be a Mortal Kombat movie, and that's exactly what it was, and it delivered. If you think that this movie deserves to die, let me know in the comments. If you think this movie was awesome and worthy of 4 sequels that we're apparently going to get, let me know in the comments. Speaking of which, the comment section is a great place for new people to talk about the channel and the video. And if you did not subscribe after seeing this video, you might want to do that now. All of these wonderful people that are scrolling right about here, right about now, are the patrons of the channel. If you also want to be a patron of the channel, there's going to be a link in the description below on how to do that. I also have a Teespring page. That's another way to support the channel monetarily so I can keep doing content like this and to just support local content creators like myself. Or smaller content creators, which is a little bit more accurate, like myself. Thank you guys so much that already subscribed and already gave me a thumbs up and everything and all that good stuff and share all this content. And those of you that are patrons of the channel, thank you so very much, because it's your direct contribution that that helps us make videos like this. So with all that being said, you guys have been great, I'm sure, wherever you are watching this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to give me a thumbs up. It'll help me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not sure what we're going to film next, but it's going to be something requested by one of you guys, if not most of you guys. Mortal Kombat for me was a flawless victory. I think this movie was a flawless victory. But let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I'm done talking. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.
Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say. Allegedly, Sub-Zero has signed on for 4 more movies after this, which means we're getting more films. And if I do not see a scene in those 4 films of Jarrett going, "Jax, I'm sorry," I will be massively disappointed.